So my name is Louise Kelly. I'm a professor of strategic management here at Alliant International University in the San Diego campus. You know, I used to use the phrase, and I still think it is true, that I sort of died and went to academic heaven. And what I mean by that is that I feel that I'm in an environment where I can really flourish as an academic, as a professor, as a mentor. There's just some unique combination. I think maybe the fact that it's a smaller school. I'd never really been at a smaller school, which makes things more human in terms of your interaction with the students. You really get to know the students. Huge thing for me has been the international component. And it's interesting because I didn't really know what I was missing until I came here. The reason that I have been so happy here is because of the interaction I have with my colleagues and with my students. And let me put it this way. My students, and I'm talking about MBA students and doctoral students and some of the undergrad students as well, are some of the most interesting people you'll ever meet. Okay? I have met students from countries like Burundi, Myanmar. If I hadn't come to this university, I probably would have gone through my whole life never having a friend from these different locations. I mean, incredible diversity in terms of the countries and the international representation. But it's not just that. It's the fact that the things my students are doing in their careers are fascinating. One of my students is Kenyan student, Dominic Mwenja. He's the president of a university 50 feet down the road here on Miramar. And you know, he's making deals in Kenya and Vietnam. He's doing all that kind of, that's the kind of thing that our students do. They have an international network and they're working in an international context. One of my students, Kevin Lobecka, he runs actually aircraft manufacturing in Orange County, and he has been setting up operations in Romania, in Eastern Europe. He learned about the cultural aspects here. And they put him in charge of that because of the training that he got at our school at Alliant International University. One last example, I was teaching, you know, it's so fulfilling when your students make a connection between what they do in their business and what you teach in the classroom. So I was teaching a psychology student actually in an MBA course. And I was teaching them some finance, you know, some basic finance, how to look at income statements, how to analyze, you know, how leveraged a company is, etc. And I felt that, you know, some of them were really struggling with the material. But I kept at it and teaching them. Then I got this email about 2 weeks later, and from one of my students who works in a healthcare provider. And she said, "Dr. Kelly, you wouldn't believe it. We had our executive meeting, and I want you to know that when the CFO made his presentation, I was able to ask him questions about these financial ratios, about the decisions that we're making. And when I asked him questions, this MBA student was saying, the psychologist, for about 20 minutes. And when it was all over, everybody looked at her and said, how come you know that? You know, how come you know about finance? And it's what she learned here. And she was doing her job differently on Monday morning because of the class that we're teaching. And to me, that's so fulfilling to see that direct impact of what we do on how they do their job.